Mr. Speaker, CSIS advised the Prime Minister in its top-secret briefing note that the way to combat foreign interference is through, quote, a policy that is grounded in transparency and sunshine in order to highlight the point that foreign interference should be exposed to the public, end quote. Why is the Prime Minister and the government not heeding this advice? Why are they not going public and telling Canadians exactly which candidates and which riding associations were involved in Beijing's foreign interference?
The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Speaker, I agree with my colleague that we need to take allegations of foreign interference very, very seriously, and that's why we created independent, nonpartisan panels to shine a light on the allegations of foreign interference, both of whom confirmed that the elections in 2019 and 2021 were free and fair, Mr. Speaker, and we will continue to shine a light on the tools, on the investments that we are putting into our national security community to protect all of our democratic institutions, including elections. Thank you.
Member for Wellington, Halton Hills.
Mr. Speaker, intelligence experts here and in the Five Eyes are saying the best way to combat foreign interference is transparency and sunshine, to go public with information. That's why last summer the UK government and MI5 went public about a Beijing agent in the UK Parliament, Christine Lee. She was publicly named, and so were the MPs who were the target of her donations. These MPs took action to protect the integrity of the UK Parliament. Why won't the government do the same thing in this country?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Speaker, that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, let's review some of the facts about what our government has actually done. One of the first things we did was actually repeal Stephen Harper's Unfair Elections Act. And what did that do? It actually closed foreign funding loopholes that the Conservatives and that member seem to have no problem with in past elections. In addition, Mr. Speaker, let's also talk about the fact that in the 2019 NSICOP annual report that was tabled in this very House actually talked about the foreign interference attempts, and that member and those members had access to those documents.
I just want to remind the honourable members that when someone's speaking, shouting at them is not parliamentary and it's not polite. So I just want to remind the honourable members. The Honourable Member for Sherwood Park, Fort Saskatchewan.
Mr. Speaker, I invite that honourable member to read the NSICOP report that was tabled by a member of her own government, which was in fact scathing about the government's failure to respond to the persistent problem of foreign interference. Now, Mr. Speaker, we know that the Prime Minister's secrecy and refusal to answer basic questions about foreign interference is putting this debate on its back foot. He's putting his personal interests ahead of the national interests by not listening to CSIS on the benefits of sunlight, giving us information. Will the Prime Minister answer the question, has he received briefings or memos on this subject since he last denied it?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs.
It seems I've hit a nerve with the member who's opposite, because let's review the facts. The first is the fact that foreign interference does happen, and as a result, in this country, we have put in place strong measures to strengthen our democracy. Conservatives seem to just be waking up to this fact now. But, Mr. Speaker, foreign interference, due to the strength of our democracy, doesn't always mean those attempts work. But when it comes to the work that we're doing, like I said, and the member opposite should know I was a member of NSICOP, so I'm very well aware of the reports that they do. But, Mr. Speaker, they receive briefings and they...
L'honorable député de...
The Honourable Member for Mégantic-l'Érable. Let's discuss the facts. There will be a top security briefing for the Prime Minister to ensure that Canada uses a transparent approach. That's what the intelligence agencies said. And yesterday, the Prime Minister himself said, the member across the way who used to be in cabinet understands the importance of respecting guidelines on national security. Then why is the Prime Minister refusing to follow the directives of our intelligence agencies? Why is he hiding information from Canadians? The Honourable Minister of Public Safety. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we implemented measures to increase transparency about threats of foreign interference. we created various groups and tabled 2 reports written by independent groups to confirm that the 2019 and 2021 elections were free and fair. We will continue to increase the level of transparency because that is part of protecting our democratic values.
The government doesn't appear to understand how difficult a position Canada is in. They've been poking China, the greatest geopolitical power in the world, and instead of aligning with the U.S. or hiding behind them, Canada is showing itself to be weak and allowing China to bulldoze us. The idea that there was illegal funding and the $70,000 spent in the riding of Papineau, where does the government stand on these things? The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, our government takes all allegations of foreign interference very seriously, and that's why we created 2 panels to investigate all allegations, and those panels found that the elections in 2019 and 2021 were conducted with integrity, and we will continue to provide all the tools national security agencies need to protect our democratic institutions. The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly. Maybe that's why the Prime Minister did his show with the Chinese leader, because he wanted everyone to think nothing happened. But we need answers with some substance to them. The Prime Minister has to be accountable. He pretends to be protecting Canada, but he's protecting himself and the Liberal Party. We have questions about funding in the Prime Minister's riding. Could the Prime Minister put this all behind him by calling for an inquiry into financing of his riding in 2016? The Honourable Minister of Public Safety. Mr. Speaker, my colleague knows that we created an arm's-length, nonpartisan panel to examine all the allegations of foreign interference, and those panels confirmed that the elections in 2019 and 2021 were free, fair, and equitable, and open, and that's why we will continue to protect our democratic institutions. Thank you.